everybody, like, sorry, I'm like sick right now, so if you, I don't like my voice right now, but everybody like posted a day early, except for me, which is good, because if I had posted yesterday, you wouldn't have gotten the epic story for today. So, last night, I was super bored, because I was done with everything that was due for today. But yeah, I was bored. It was like 11 o'clock. And this girl down the hall has the first season of Gossip Girl on DVD. So I was like, hey, can I watch some Gossip Girl? And she's like, yeah, go for it. So I watched that for a while. Until like 12:50-ish. Then I went back to my room. And Frank was there, because he's always there. Okay, so I got back. It was around 1. And Frank was like, hey, can I borrow your car? And I was like, no. Absolutely not. No. He was just like, alright, well then can you drive us to McDonald's? And I was like, I hate McDonald's, there's no way I'm going there. He's like, alright, well Taco Bell. And I was like, Taco Bell closes in 5 minutes, so no. And he was like, alright, fine, whatever. Gave up. And then he's all, what if I pay? And I was like, I don't like McDonald's. But the only thing I really like from there is their fries. And he was like, well, I'll buy you fries and maybe a milkshake. And I was like, alright, well, whatever. As long as Elizabeth goes with us. And Cedric, because I don't want to feel like a third wheel. So, got into the car, and we went to McDonald's, and it was like 1:30, which really isn't that late, because everybody's up. But, Ursula and Jen had wanted stuff, so off the dollar menu. So we go, and I pull up to the drive-thru window, and I say, hey, we need some stuff off the dollar menu. And he's like, oh, that closed at 1. So reopen it again. And we're like, well, when do you start selling your normal stuff again? He was like, 4. So between 1 and 4, you can't get anything besides number 2 through 10, which are like $5 meals. Not. So we got like 4 orders of fries, some milkshakes, and like a giant Coke. And now, regressing into last weekend, I let Ursula borrow my car. So he put in like $15 worth of gas, drove it, came back. No harm done. And then, that was Saturday. No, Friday. Saturday? Maybe. Maybe Saturday. Friday night, one of the two. And then Sunday night, I got a call from Sam, because I was waiting for Teresa to call me on Elizabeth's phone, and then Sam called, and so I answered, and she's like, hey, is Karaline there? And I was like, this is she, and so she's all, your car light is on, like the one on the inside, like right in the middle. So I went downstairs, and Sam got out of Tim's car, and I got into Tim's car, and we drove down there, and I turned off the light, and I tested my car to see if it would turn on. The battery was still okay. And then, yeah, I went back up to the dorm with Tim. So, needless to say, my battery was kind of screwed. So, 1:30 last night, we got our food, what little of it there was, and we went, sorry about that, we went to Turkey Hill, because Frank said he would pay for $15 worth of gas. I wasn't gonna complain. So we went to Turkey Hill, turned off my car, pumped the gas, tried to turn it back on, the battery's dead. So we go inside, and we ask the lady who was working there, hey, do you have jumper cables and a car? My battery's dead. And she said, yeah, they're in my car, but I can't leave the store unless somebody else is here to watch it. So she called in one of her coworkers, who was like 20, 30 years younger than her. She finally gets there, the lady goes out to her car, comes back and says, somebody took the jumper cables out of my car. So we're thinking, oh, great. But luckily at 2 a.m. there are a whole bunch of people who apparently need to get stuff from the gas station. Like this creepy old man. He was like, you know how like people have double chins? This guy had like a double belly. Like he had like the beginning like fat thing, and then he had like another one on top of it, like he was pregnant or something. Like the first fat was pregnant. And then he had this like creeper beard and like shorts that weren't quite long enough and this like yellow tank top that was hung in all the wrong places. And we sent Cedric after him, and Cedric is black. We sent Cedric after him to see if he had jumper cables, and he was the entire time that he was talking to Cedric, he was like, homie, and dog, and he got back into the car, and he was telling us about this, and I was like, it's because you're black, Cedric, and he's like, whatever, no it's not. Then I walked up there, and I was talking to him too, with Cedric next to me, and he does this whole, like, weird handshake with Cedric, and, like, shakes my hand normally and says, sorry, I can't help you, miss, or something like that. And I was like, it's because you're black, Cedric. And, finally we ended up calling the police, because Campo couldn't come and get us, because they were like, oh, no, if you're off campus, we can't help you. And I was like, what? Excuse me, I'm still a student. I think I should be able to call Campo. I mean, your SUV doesn't have a dead battery. You can come fix mine. So we called the police because the police station was right up the street, and Officer Shuey, props to you, man. He shows up, we pop the hood up, and he does something to my battery, checks the alternator, and yeah, he fixed my battery for a short amount of time. And he's like, you should probably go to the automotive services tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, or later today or whatever. So yeah. So the police helped me out of my predicament at 2:30 in the morning. We were there for an hour, or about an hour. It was ridiculous. I've been sick for a while. I've been crying and angry, and I think that's gotten me sick, along with Elizabeth having TB and whatnot. She doesn't really. But I keep on making fun of her because she keeps coughing, so I'm like, dude, you have TB. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. And, you know, she did. So, yesterday I went to my first class, because my English class was canceled. My teacher had a conference or whatever. I went to seminar, no, I didn't come back. I went with Liz into Zug, because she had my voice teacher. My voice lesson was at noon, and I didn't have a voice, so I went with Liz because she was going to voice class, which is a whole bunch of people doing voice lessons. And when Dracula came out, I was like, should I come to practice? And she was like, no. Go back home, take a shower, breathe in some steam, drink a lot of water, and sleep. So I did. And then I woke up at like 2:30 and realized that I had missed basic meal. But Dr. Haynes had seen me, so he knew that I was sick. I had told him on my way to see Dracula, so I don't think he was like wondering where I was. He sent me an email saying he hoped I feel better. Which I do today. I feel a lot better. After a whole bunch of sleep and some medicine and some time not being stressed. Yay. And I have a phone. I do. It's semi-new, but I have a phone. It's got a retarded cat as background. You can't see it, but that's okay. But I can't get it onto my plan. So eventually you'll be able to text and call me again. Hopefully. So that's about it for this week. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I really want Teresa to come by train and see me, because that would be really nice of her. To everyone who offered me their support, it meant so much to me. Especially those of you who made me laugh, like especially Janelle and Claire. Like you two, I was in hysterics, like just because of everything that you did. And Matt, you did make me cry with a few of the things you said. Everybody else who offered me support in my decision and everything. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye.